flash flood watch.
Oh, it's supposed to rain like 4 days.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
There's like 4 or 5 storms
Yeah.
off our coast,
Yeah.
and yeah, now we have a flash flood watch. I'm gonna go and turn my phone down here. So,
Well, last time it rained, which was like early December, it rained for 2 days, and we just moved into our house.
mhm.
It rained like overnight the whole day, and then the second night we woke up and we stepped down from the bed and we stepped in the water. It was like this much of water in our whole bedroom
Inside?
inside.
Oh shit.
Yeah. And we had backdrops under the bed for photography. Like everything was ruined.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. That
So,
sucks.
yeah, we called the landlord and, we're like, hey, this happened.
Did you get everything replaced?
And, well, so here's the thing, okay? In the lease, it says that they don't like have to give you any money for anything if it gets damaged by like weather, blah blah blah, whatever.
Right.
Um, which we knew, but we still asked them like, hey, are we gonna get compensated for at least some of it?
Yeah.
It wasn't like a lot of stuff, but the backdrops were a big thing for us because he's a photographer. So, I mean,
Well, that and
go
it's it
figure.
it is on the landlord though. If it's not you flooding the place, it's
Well, yeah,
a
but
roof leak, right?
no, I mean, we don't even know where the water came from
Oh.
because there were no leaks on the wall. Probably somewhere on the bottom, but like we couldn't figure out where did it come from.
Hmm.
Because there was like dirt and water in the house, so it was probably from like the bottom. Um, and he came the same day. He's a really good guy, though. He was really good about this, I have to say.
That's good.
And he showed us the lease, and he says, yeah, this is what it clearly says that we don't like owe you anything, but because I really like you guys, like for your next rent check, just give me $250 less.
That's it?
So, no, that covers it. That
Oh,
covers it.
that covered all the
Oh, yeah,
stuff?
yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it did.
Should have shot for
So,
350, 400.
no, no, that
Full
was
rent covered.
like, here's the thing, like, he didn't have to do any of it legally,
Right.
you know? He just did it because, like, he likes us, because, like, we pay rent on time, and,
You're
like,
responsible.
we're responsible people, and, like, we don't damage the place, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, he knows what we do, and, like,
Well, that's good.
yeah.
Yeah.
So if this would happen with the other place that we lived at in Huntington Beach, I would have to like sue her for it.
Oh, that sucks.
And I've been arguing with her over emails too.
Oh, over other stuff? Oh. Isn't that done?
Well, it's supposed to
It's
be.
supposed to be. Oh. Sometimes, you know what? I don't know what the
Yeah.
situation is, but sometimes you just got to cut your loss and
It's
go.
no, it's really simple though, because the apartment was 650 square feet. So like not big, but not small for two people, like regular size.
Yeah.
And there was carpet in the bedroom and the living room, and then there was a tile and the rest. Um, And I understand, if you're gonna send me a bill for the carpet because we lived there for a year, so it's not gonna be looking new, obviously.
Yeah. General usage.
Yeah, so I'm like, look, if you need to replace the carpet, you can send us the bill. We're more than happy to pay for it. Like, we didn't care. But then she sent us bill for $120 for apartment cleaning,
Ah,
which there's nothing in the lease about it. First of all, she didn't even tell us about it, nothing. She just like billed us for it and took it from our deposit. And I sent her an email. I'm like, listen, like you need to send us the $120 back.
mm-hmm.
This was not our agreement. And we spent our 2 days. We drove from Burbank there to Huntington Beach twice to clean the place completely. So it was clean. You could eat from the floor. I can guarantee you that.
You guys went above and
And
beyond.
oh yeah, we did. And like again, we didn't clean the carpet because we knew she's gonna replace it. She said that.
Right.
We did a walkthrough with her. And she looked at everything and she said, yeah, the only thing is the carpet. Everything else looks good. You know?
And then she still sent you
And then she charged us for like, other stuff. And I'm like, no, you're gonna send it back or I'm gonna sue you. Like, I don't care.
Yeah, small
I really don't
claims.
care. Yeah. I have nothing to lose at this point
Right.
because I have emails, like I have lease agreement, like there's nothing about it. And I don't know if I told you that we had bugs.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, don't even get me started on that. And so we moved in. When we moved to California, we had to do everything online because we lived so far away. We were looking for a place and it was difficult.
Right.
Um, and we moved there and everything looked really nice. You know, we're like, oh, this is really good. But then a week or two after we moved in, we started seeing the bugs. And it was just a couple of them. So I'm like, all right, well, let's just spray it, you know, and it's
Right.
probably like just nothing. But then as it progressed, it got worse. And that's like if you went in the kitchen at night, like go to a bathroom, whatever, there was, I swear, there was like 50 of them on the fucking floor and they were this big.
Holy shit.
And we figured out where they were coming from because we're not dirty people.
Right.
And we, first of all, like, we didn't bring any furniture from Ohio
Right.
at all. So there were nothing, like, you know, like, there's no way.
Yeah.
We just brought clothes and, like, that was it. So when you opened the kitchen cabinets, all the way on top in the corner, there was a little space going all across all of the cabinets, and they were coming out of the walls.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so I took videos and pictures of everything, but we were like everyone basically hates her in the complex, you know,
Oh.
because she's really nosy and she lives there too.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got her several times. She was walking around the complex and like looking into people's windows like this.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And
How
there
long?
was just
You
so
guys weren't
much.
there that long then.
Well, yeah, because we didn't want to pay her extra money to move out early, you
Oh,
know,
okay.
because she doesn't deserve any of it.
Right.
She's just a horrible person itself. And yeah, and like, see, this
Yeah.
is what we get. Like, we were just doing everything as we were supposed to, and we actually like had the, what's it called, the smoke bombs
Yeah.
for
For pests.
bugs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
The
yeah,
smoke
whatever
bomb.
it's called. So we bought those several times. We bought the sprays and everything. We cleaned it on our own expense. Not once, twice, or three times. You know, there was so
Yeah.
many
Yeah.
times because we don't want to live with it, obviously.
Yeah.
But no one wants to talk to her. That's why we didn't go to her and tell her about it. Because I don't want her in my place.
Right.
Because she's gonna find some shit again. You know,
That's a
like,
hard thing. I
I
guess
know.
there was a friend of mine. She moved into a place a couple of years ago. She moved into a place, but yeah, everything looks good. Everything looks good. But once she was in, I started going around and just looking at everything and documenting all this stuff. And I was like, you got a lot of issues here.
Yeah.
Like all of this, keep the video, keep my photos, keep
Yeah.
everything, because this is documented of what you're moving into.
Yeah.
And you're going to probably need this when you move out. Whenever that is,
Mm-hmm.
even if you want to move out early, you're going to need this documentation,
Yeah.
all this, because this is all the shit I'm finding.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not even really looking that hard.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I'm not even looking that hard. I'm, yeah, I look at a lot thing. I look at a lot of things more than other people.
Yeah.
It's just in my nature to look at
Yeah.
all the little nooks and crannies of things.
Mm-hmm.
But I just wasn't looking as hard as I normally would.
Yeah. But you
That's
saw
a,
it.
oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but it's so frustrating too. It's not a lot of money, but it's money.
It's also principle.
Yeah. So
It's also principle. I had to when I left a place at one time. I
no, keep talking.
yeah, yeah. When I left a place one time, I did get hit with an additional fee. I forget. It was like a cleaning fee, same thing, cleaning fee, this, that, and the other thing was like $300, whatever it
Yeah.
was. And I thought about it and I went, you know what? I'm not even going to deal with it just because I do not want to deal with this shit.
Yeah.
Just keep the money. And I walked away because I get the principle of fighting
Yeah.
stuff, but in my own, in my own uh, personal, what am I trying to say there? My own personal health
Mhm.
reasons, also, stress levels,
Mhm.
staying positive, just moving forward with things. Better off just to let it go.
Yeah.
It's just money. It's a
I was
tool. She wants to keep it. Move on.
I was thinking
I'm
about
out.
the same thing, but like I didn't really email her just like to get the money out of her. That wasn't like it was a reason too, but it wasn't the main reason for me. It was mostly because like I wanted to let her know that we know she's wrong.
Right.
You know, like
Yeah.
that was the main thing. And I sent, so my first initial email was very nice. I wasn't mean at all, just so you know. The next one was a little worse. But this is what she sent me.
Let's see. I can't read this out loud, but charges cleaning ruined. Oh, this is what she sent you. Got it.
Yeah. And then if you click up,
Mhm.
you'll see my last response. I don't know if you can.
Okay. Well, she's asking for whatever it was.
Well, she can't charge me after she returned my deposit anyway, so
Right.
I don't care.
Wait. So which one was your thing? You were.
So mine. This was my last response, and I said,
This was after or before?
after the
After that
email
one?
that I showed you.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And I said, whatever she's gonna reply on this one, I'm not even gonna bother getting back to her because I'm not gonna get my money back at this point.
Right. I mean, you're stating exactly all the stuff that you did to try and
Yeah,
remedy the problem here.
absolutely.
Smoke bomb, clean, expense starting the second week. Yeah, you're both, it's, oh man, that's a hard thing.
She's just a horrible person.
All right. I mean, you're both, your emails as well as hers are not, there's nothing bad going on, but you're both explaining things and trying to resolve something that's a hard thing.
Yeah.
It's going to be tough to resolve things like that.
Oh, I don't care anymore. I just wanted to let her know that she's gonna get a bad review.
Oh. So are you going to let it go then? Just,
I mean, yeah, this is my last email to her, and
oh,
whatever
okay.
she says, I'm just gonna delete it, and she can live her life. I live my own.
Yeah, it sounds like it's a better option just to let it
Yeah.
go.
And like, if you look on their
That and you're up here
website,
anyway. Just let it go, move on, and
no, I will,
yeah,
but she just needed to know that like I know she's shady, you know what
all right.
I mean?
You're like, I want that final say, so I know something about you, and I'm not coming back to you. And I'm going to let everybody know this is about you.
Yeah, and it's so bad because when you look online on their website,
Mhm.
there's so many people that said the exact same thing, either about the money, the
Mhm.
deposit, or the bugs, or it had 3 floors, so we were on the bottom floor. Apparently, the bottom floor is bad with bugs.
Right.
Middle floor should be fine. Who knows? And third floor is supposed to have rats.
Rats?
Yeah, so what is better?
Oh gosh, which floor would you like to live on, people? One, two, or three? Oh,
None.
how do you get rats on the third floor and they're not going
I
anywhere?
guess from the roof?
I was gonna say maybe
Or
the
I don't
roof
know. I don't
and
know. I like we
coming from
haven't
power
lived
lines
there,
and stuff.
so
Yeah.
I don't know. But she lives on the third floor, so I hope she has some.
So maybe she's got pet rats. Maybe that's what she's got. She's got a pet rat farm going on upstairs, and so everybody else is having to deal with it. That's why
I
second floor is
know.
okay because there's kind of a divvy.
I
There's like a
know.
border wall there. Second floor.
It's so funny because one of the maintenance guys, they were
Hmm.
actually really nice Mexican guys, and we always talk to them.
Yeah.
Super nice. They always talk to me in the laundry room. And one of the guys came to me one day and he was like, I have to tell you this really good story. And I'm like, all right. He's like, yeah, I went to the third floor to like fix some cabinets or something. And there was something moving on the floor under shirts.
Oh.
And I'm like, okay, what was it? And he kept going and he's like, the kids were sitting on the sofa and as they finished some food, they took the wrapper and just kept throwing it behind them, and like a banana. It was just disgusting. And he's like, all right, well, I'm gonna look what's under the t-shirts. So the dad
This is a
comes.
horror movie happening.
Well,
You
the
got
dad.
kids on a
No,
sofa
listen.
throwing random food behind themselves, and some's moving under. Oh shit!
Well, the dad who lived
Dim the
there.
lights, anybody that's listening. She's about to go into the really deep part of the story.
Well, the dad came to him and he's like, "Oh yeah, that's just a rat. It's been in the closet and it just like goes around because they can
One rat.
see." Apparently, I don't know.
This is a big rat.
Well, the maintenance guy was like, "Well, should I just take it outside?" He's like, "Well, it's up to you. Whatever you want to do." And then so he grabbed the rat in the t-shirt, and like
Mhm.
took it out, whatever. And the dad just started yelling after him. He's like, "You can keep the t-shirt. That's all right."
What? What? Oh, I don't even know what to think. I don't know what to think about that.
It was hilarious.
And only one. Oh, I don't know.
Mm-mm-mm.
Anybody dealing with rats? I have not. I had a friend who he had a pet rat. Loved the thing,
No, if it's a pet,
a pet, but
I
I don't
mean,
understand. But apparently they don't carry as many diseases as people think.
I don't know.
I don't
I
know.
don't
That's
know.
what I've been told. Like they don't carry as many diseases. I find that very hard to believe.
Yeah,
I personally find that hard to believe.
yeah.
I'm like,
Because they like
okay,
trash.
yeah,
Yeah,
you're always involved with stuff, and they can seem to care. I don't know. I think that was false what somebody told me, but they were like a rat lover.
that's
So I think maybe
interesting.
they were like, being protective of their
Huh.
rat species in that whatever it is.
All right. Well,
I don't know. Who knows what it is?
who knows?
But so everybody listening, we have obviously been chatting about stuff here with Lucie Campbell. So moving forward along things here, now that you all know what to do when you have a bad landlord, bad landlord, make sure you had everything done. Lucie, we I thought something kind of interesting to talk about would be kind of your immigration here to America. I know we're transitioning from, landlord side of things to right over that and jump right into something
Yeah,
big, but
let's transition.
let's transition to here. But I think it's kind of a big topic with
Hmm.
everybody, and you've had a lot of experience in that. And obviously you've been in Ohio, and now you're over here in LA. You've had some
Hmm.
great experiences, obviously in Huntington Beach. Now, now
Wonderful.
you're up here in LA, so hopefully things are a lot better. But you've come from another country. Now you're here. You started that with what, being married? Was that how you originally kind of came about?
No, I actually lived in England. So I'm originally from Czech Republic,
Hmm.
but I lived in England for a little over a year and a half. And I was looking for a host family. It's an au pair program.
Hmm.
So you take care of kids and you live with the family. They're usually a rich family because they pay everything for you, since you're just like a nanny,
Right.
basically. It's
Right.
not like a big job that you come here for. It's just like an exchange program.
Right.
Um, so I was looking for family anywhere in the US. I didn't really care for the location as much as everyone else is like, oh yeah, I want to go to, Florida. I want to go to LA. I want to go to New York. Like really just like the big cities. I didn't really care. I was just looking for a nice family with, kids that are not as little. I just had preferences on the family more than the location.
Right.
And once I found the family, I came over and I was in Cincinnati, Ohio, and then I met my husband.
Nice.
So yeah, I mean, I spent there for a year and a half with the family, and I took care of their kids, and it was all fun, But then at the end, kind of went down the hill a little. Not
Something
gonna lie,
something happened.
something happened.
Gotcha.
Um,
Cool. No
it's
reason to say anything. Just
no, it's just a tough situation because I really like the family, and the kids.
yeah. Well, sure. I mean,
So
you're spending your time taking care of them. You're
yeah.
doing everything for them. Of course,
Yeah.
you
Yeah, they were
create a
like my
connection.
they were like my siblings at the end, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I spent with them so much time. Um and after a year and a half I went back to Europe. First back home to Czech Republic and then I went back to London. I spent there 6 months and then I came back here on ESTA, which is a tourist visa for 3 months and then you have to
Oh,
leave.
okay.
And yeah, I got married and here we are, right?
Wait, so you were here on a tourist visa when you came
Yes.
back, though?
Yes, I was.
Gotcha.
But I didn't plan on getting married at that time. I just came for a vacation
Right.
and we went on a cruise to the Bahamas. So, and
Oh,
then when we came back, he proposed and
got married.
got married.
Nice. The Bahamas will do that to people. The Bahamas will definitely do that to somebody. You're on a nice, cozy island, hanging out in your bikinis and shorts,
I know, right?
having
It
some
was so
drinks.
nice.
It is a love fest. What's going on there? We know how that goes. Everybody go to an island. You need to
Mm-hmm.
enjoy it. Um, so then you got married. That's great. And that got you your green card to be here?
Yes,
Yeah, nice.
that was a process.
Uh-huh.
Let's just be honest.
Yeah, I bet.
It was not fun, but you gotta do what you gotta do.
Hmm.
We got married about a month, a little over a month after I entered the country on the tourist visa. So everything had to go really fast. So my family couldn't come because they were far, and my grandparents are older, and it's what, like 12-hour flight.
Right.
And it's a lot of money too.
There's
Not even
that.
mention that. So we just basically did a smaller wedding. It was probably like 20 people, just closest friends and family of my husband.
Hmm.
We rented a park because we didn't want to have a courthouse wedding. That was just not the dream.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, yeah.
So we rented a park in Cincinnati and we also had a nice reception. But it was also expensive, and we're saving up for the
Of
paperwork.
course.
And the first green card is a little more expensive than the second one that I'm still waiting on, by the way. So with the first one, you have to, once you get your marriage license after you
Hmm.
get married, you have to send it together with other paperwork. You have to go to a doctor from the USCIS to get you checked up, and they put it in a sealed envelope. You don't know anything what's in it, right?
The secret.
And you just have to send it together with the other paperwork.
Right.
And then you're just waiting, and after that, the next step is they will send you a notice for your fingerprints and photo.
Hmm.
So you go there. That's literally just 5 minutes, no
Yeah.
big deal. And then you're waiting again.
It's a whole lot of weight.
I know, a
Yeah.
lot.
That's the government.
Yeah,
That's
well,
government. That's anything government. It's hurry
that's
up and
anywhere
wait.
though. It's
Yeah.
not just here, you know.
Ugh.
But the last step is going to the interview as a couple. And usually, people are stressed out about it, but if you're a real couple, you have nothing to be stressed out about.
Right.
That's just, you just present yourself as a couple. You don't have to lie about anything.
Hmm.
So if you really know each other, you should be good.
That is something that probably a lot of people, I mean, that's why they do it.
Yeah.
Because they get a lot of people that are just like, hello, we love each other. And
Yeah.
they're just trying to get into the country or bypass immigration very quickly.
Yeah.
Whereas opposed to somebody like you, you're coming in the right way. You're doing everything you need to and for right reasons.
Yeah. And it's
You
funny
know?
that you say that because one of our friends back in Ohio, she actually did it the wrong way, if I should
Oh,
say. Um, she lived here. Well, she lived in Ohio, and her husband was, I think, in New York, but she's originally from Russia. Um, and they got married, and they still lived in separate states. So I don't know how did that work out with the immigration,
right.
but they actually passed, and she got the green card, and then they got divorced, and she's still here.
Ah,
But they met probably like twice in their lifetime. So
wow.
it's I don't know. I don't know how did that work out, but this is a good example. This is why
Yeah.
people think about immigrants how they think. It's just
Yeah.
like they think, yeah, you come here for a wrong reason, but it's not like that for everybody.
Right.
So it's a tough one.
Yeah, she definitely bypassed the system to stay here, which is
Yeah.
understandable. I mean, whatever her situation is, or what anybody's situation is, they want to come to another place. And America
Yeah.
is the destination of choice for the majority of people.
Yeah, but on one side it's your life, but on the other side it's wrong.
Yeah,
Again, that's why people think about immigrants,
I know.
because of cases like this. Like a good example also, I still get the question too, like, are you here for the right reasons? Do you come here for a green card? And I'm just like, please talk to my hand.
I
So
already have it. Thank you very much. I am moving on.
it's just like really annoying,
Yeah,
because it's especially coming from people that don't know either of us, or they've met us just a couple times and they have no clue what are they talking about.
right.
So just go, leave,
Yeah.
go away.
Do you get that a lot here in California? Do you get those type
um.
of questions? And I ask that because I mean, I'm from here.
Mhm.
So to me, I don't think I didn't grow up with a thought process of immigrants or racism or sexism. I didn't grow up with any thought
Yeah.
process. I just grew up. It's just
Yeah.
part of California. You're surrounded by tons of people, and this is how
Mhm.
it goes. So I mean, not that I know everybody in California, obviously, but it's one of those things where I don't run into a situation where I hear people even ask those type of questions.
Yeah.
Do you get that quite a bit around here?
I would say I get it more here than I got in Ohio,
Really?
just because I feel like California, there's more immigrants here,
Yeah.
obviously.
Yeah.
Um, so like they would think like they see someone from Mexico, like now with the situation that's going on in the politics,
Right.
with the wall and whatever else is going on there, that's like where the mindset comes from.
Yeah.
So they're just like, oh, so did you cross the border illegally, or like did you come here and just stayed illegally, or like what's your deal?
Right.
And I've got it. It's funny because I've actually got this question mostly while working on set.
Really?
Yes. So,
Really?
mm-hmm.
Well, I could kind of see that because they want to make sure that they can pay you, if
Well,
that's a
no, it was
question.
coming from the other actors, not
Oh,
from the
okay.
production.
Well, but
So,
I guess I'm looking at the optimistic side of
yeah.
things here, and I'm like, okay, so maybe that actor has a friend that they're trying to get across, and like, hey, you know what?
Yeah.
They're trying to get them over here so that they can work. Because I've run into quite a bit of friends who have actors that are, in the Czech Republic, they're in England, they're, in Hungary, wherever it is, and
Hmm.
they're stars over there, and they need to come over here, so they need to be sponsored, and they need to have a couple people that know them in an entertainment business, whatever it is. So I've been asked that quite
Yeah.
a bit about if I can sponsor people or if I can write a recommendation, but I guess that's why I'm looking at the optimistic side of if you have people asking you that on
You're
set.
on the other side of this.
Yeah, I see it, but yeah, I think also, speaking the political side of things, you definitely do have a lot more people that feel that they can bring it up a little bit more nowadays.
Yeah.
I think is a big thing because we do have an environment that what's the thought process there? We do have an environment now where people feel like they can speak their mind
Hmm.
and ask those type of questions, even though uh, if I'm in the understanding right, the federal government police cannot even ask you if you are what's your immigration status.
Right, right,
They legally cannot. Although one of the
right.
states recently, well, I don't. Do you know what the state was that recently said that they could?
I don't know. I've heard about it. I don't know.
Yeah, there was a state recently. Let me see if I can find it. They decided that they would pass that their police could. I'm typing here. Police uh, ask immigration. I can't even spell immigration status. Immigration status. I don't. I don't. I don't want to say it was the wrong one. What was the state? Texas.
Texas.
Texas was the one, or that was last year. Yeah, they wanted to. I don't know if that fully got passed or not, but I know,
Wow.
like here in California, even the police can't ask that federal
Hmm.
government. You have to go into a place specifically.
Yeah.
So that's what I think. And just there's a lot of people now that feel that they can just ask that,
Hmm.
even though,
Well, I think like people can speak their mind. That's not a bad thing. That's actually really good, you know?
right.
But I feel like they can go about it a different way,
Hmm.
you know, not just be like, hey, are you here legally? Like, obviously, I'm not gonna tell you if you ask me like that. It's none of your business.
Right.
So, yeah.
Oh yeah, I can understand that. I wouldn't want to be asked that.
Yeah. I mean,
I wouldn't.
obviously, at first, it was really, I would say, uncomfortable.
Hmm.
But as the time went on, I was just like, well, they're just gonna keep asking that, you know, so I can just turn around and leave. Because I don't need to listen to stuff like that if I know my side of the story. If
Right.
it's someone close to me, yeah, I can explain. I have no problem of doing that. But if it's someone completely foreign to me, or they like a person on Instagram, you know, they just send you a message like, "Oh, I've been watching you and I feel like you're not here legally, you don't have a legal status." I'm just gonna like block the person. I'm not gonna bother. So,
Hmm.
yeah.
There's another thing where just those people that send you those messages on social media for the most
Mhm.
part they are not going to usually ask you that in person.
Yeah. Cuz
There's
they're
another
scared.
aspect of things. Jeez, yeah. I can't imagine what that's honestly like. I mean, because nobody asked me. They're like, "Hey, are you an American citizen?" I'd be like, "Fuck you." I'd
Exactly.
just be like, "Go fuck yourself."
That's what I think in my
Yeah,
mind.
you should say that. I would. I totally would. I know that. I would be like, "What the fuck are you talking
I
about?"
will next time.
You should. I mean, like, fuck you. Just because I don't sound like I'm from here? You don't have a. Yeah.
Well,
Anybody listening, just tell them to fuck off. See where that gets you. I don't know what to say. um, now that you've been here in LA, though, I mean, what kind of brought you here to LA?
so before we actually came here in Ohio,
Mhm.
we had corporate jobs.
Mhm.
So it's literally like 8 to 5, 8 to 6 jobs.
Fun.
And no. And we were thinking about coming here for a long time. We just couldn't really make it happen. We were scared, you know, especially like the finances and like all of our stuff that we had in Ohio and like family and all that. If you put it together, it's a lot.
Right.
Um, and we were thinking about coming here for acting and modeling and this type of industry, basically.
Mhm.
And then in 2000, what is now 2019? So 2017, we actually decided to make it happen finally. We packed two of our cars
Mhm.
with just clothes and small stuff and no furniture, nothing else. And we just drove across the country from Ohio all the way to California for about 3 days.
Well,
We drove 12 hours a day. It was insane. I'm never doing it again.
oh, that's the road trip part.
No, it was the worst. And plus, like, we had two cars, so we drove behind each other. We couldn't even
Oh, you're
switch
not even in the same
driving.
car either.
Yeah,
That gets
yeah,
boring.
yeah.
I
So we
understand
just
that.
had our phones, you know, in the holder, like, hey, what are we gonna talk about now?
Yeah.
So that was kind of funny. But once we made it, you know, we lived in Huntington Beach for a year, and now we're up here in LA. That's much nicer, I
Ah,
have to
yes.
say. And we love the acting and modeling business. We don't want to do anything else. Well, obviously, actors have side jobs,
Hmm.
you know.
Yeah.
No, some people don't know that, but like everyone has another job.
I think everybody nowadays has two or three side jobs.
Seriously.
That is everyone.
So,
Everyone's got a lot of jobs nowadays.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's a good thing. You just hustle and you do what you love, you know, and if
Hmm.
that means having another side job to just go through all that, then let's be it.
Yeah. Well, I
Yeah.
mean, you got to stay financially stable.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
the biggest thing. I mean, I have seen that throughout the years and years and years. And it's one thing I've never had an issue with finances, just because it's one area that I have always personally kept in check since I was a little kid. I was counting pennies. It was never an issue of even losing 1 cent. I've been that way. So for me, finances have never been an issue. Um, but I think that's the biggest thing is that people they focus on the acting and the modeling, whatever they're focused on in the entertainment business, but they don't think that they should have a second job, or they think the
Hmm.
second job's going to get in the way. And then they pretty much lose track of their finances. They get themselves in debt. They can't pay their rent. They're
Hmm.
lacking on food.
Yeah.
They lose their car. You got
Yeah.
to have a car here in LA. So
That is true. That is
that is
true.
uh that is something people have to keep in mind. Um, so with how's the acting going since you've been here? Have you been picked up an agent, manager? Or you nailed a couple things here? Have you been in anything? I mean, obviously we're now in 2019,
Hmm.
so it's a whole year, a little over a year that you've been doing it. How's
Hmm.
that going?
I think so far so good.
Hmm.
You know, for the time we've been here, I feel like it's been going good because some people come and they've been here for a couple years and they don't really do anything big. You know, I actually was fortunate enough to do a national commercial a couple months after we moved here.
Wow,
So that was a big success for me.
that is big, especially yeah,
Yeah.
quickly.
Yeah, that was the only one so far, the only national thing that I've done, but it was really great. Then I've been on a couple of TV shows, you know, some music videos. Recently I have been, well, can't say I have been because I will be showing next year or this year actually. I will be featured in a movie. There's not an official name for it just yet,
Hmm.
so I can't tell you, but it should be in the movie theaters in fall.
Oh,
So
we have
yeah.
a secret movie coming up
Yes.
with Lucie Campbell.
With a lot of
It-
big stars.
oh, really? So, are you playing a supporting role then?
It's basically just the featured role, so I don't have any lines, but since it's a huge movie,
Hmm.
you know, I was supposed to be just a background, but they actually picked me on set with two other people to be featured in three different scenes.
Oh, okay.
So they just turned the cameras our way, you know, told us to react towards the main actress,
Hmm.
and hopefully I will make the cut. At least in one
Yeah,
of the scenes.
that would be great. That feature films are like that. They have a lot of leeway. They're able to change
Yeah.
stuff up. I've seen quite a few people that have lines, and then the stuff gets cut out
Yeah,
anyway.
exactly. So I'm hoping because this is a huge movie,
Hmm.
and even the fact that you could clearly see my face,
Right.
you know, that's big.
Yeah.
It's big.
You take
So
it, especially for films.
yeah, especially.
Put your face right in front of the camera and say, "Look at me.
That's
Look
what
at
I tried
me."
doing.
Yeah, it's all right. So, have you? Oh, say, since we're talking about the acting side of things, and with you being new in
Hmm.
it, I mean, it's a year,
Oh yeah.
a little over a year of focusing on this as well with your husband, right?
Hmm.
You
That is
both
correct.
you both are doing it.
Yes.
Okay. So, have you both found? Let's just talk about kind of resources, supportive areas, stuff that you've found to help you along the way. Is there
Hmm.
anything along those lines that has kind of worked?
Yeah, definitely. So my husband is also a photographer.
Hmm.
So when we moved here initially, he started doing just free shoots, you know, just to build his portfolio. So we met up with a lot of people that have been in the industry for a while. So they always told us, you know, hey, go on LA casting, go on Actors Access, you know, log in here and here,
Right.
and you can just apply for jobs. So that's what we started doing, and then we found some other resources like the background services, you know, and there were different companies for that. So
Okay.
we just started slowly building up, and after a couple months, we kind of knew what to do, how to find it, and
Yeah.
we started on our own.
Nice. So you've
Yeah.
basically got your feet wet really well now at this point.
Yeah, I think
Good.
so. I mean, it's not the worst.
No, well, for let's just say, a year. you
Yeah.
got to test out everything, see what
Yeah.
works.
Absolutely.
Especially you mentioned the background
Mhm.
places. I think a lot of people benefit from doing some of that
Mhm.
for sure because they get to. Some people have never even been on a big set,
Yeah.
and that's can be highly overwhelming for a lot of people. I know that.
Yeah.
And they get there and they're like, "Oh my god, what do I do?" And if you're an actor and you have no idea what's going on, you're gonna look like a fool.
Yeah,
That's for sure.
it's definitely good to go on set as a background and see how everything works
Hmm.
first before you are the principal or you have a featured role or supporting, like anything bigger than a background. It's definitely better to go there first as a background and see how it works.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a lot going on there. So you're both, focusing on acting. You've been moving along. Now you said you did have an agent though, right?
Yes,
Oh,
I
okay, good.
actually just signed last November. We actually both signed with the same agent.
Great.
Um, yeah, and it was across the board. So we're with, for print, commercial,
Hmm.
voiceover, and TV. That's mainly, the TV is mainly for me because I'm SAG-AFTRA now,
Hmm.
and my husband is still non-union, so he gets more of the commercial stuff. I get more of the TV stuff.
Right.
Um, so we signed last November with them, with Avant Artists, and I also got an agent for modeling and runways. They're in Orange County, Brand
Hmm.
Models. So we'll see how that goes.
We'll
It's
see how it
pretty
goes.
new,
Yeah.
so we'll
Hey, you
see.
know what? That's a part of it. You took a chance. You're taking a chance. You never know what's going to happen.
That is true.
You never know what's going to happen. I have worked with a few actors, and even though sometimes stuff doesn't go along the way it's going, something else comes up because you don't know what's in the works. You don't know what production's doing. You don't know what the next casting director is going to have. You don't
Hmm.
know. Nobody knows anything until it happens. Plain and simple.
Yeah.
Um, and I've had a couple of actors that I've worked with where suddenly something came in. That was the notice. I sent over some stuff over to casting. They like the person. Next thing you know, they're on a major thing and they're working with yada yada director, producer, and it's like, holy fuck! Everybody's like, oh, holy shit! Like, and I'm happy. At the time I was making extra money doing
Yeah.
that. I'm not doing that anymore. But it's like, holy fuck! You're working with yada yada, and this just happened out of my access, which
Yeah.
is, so you never know. I mean, I was a small, boutique agent at the time, just working on stuff, and that's you just don't know.
That is so
So
true.
you
Yeah.
gotta. Everybody kind of has the thing. It comes down to who you are.
Yeah, as a person, they want to see
Yeah.
your personality. And definitely if you have an agent or a manager, you still need to keep submitting yourself as well.
Oh yeah.
It's not just for the reason that they're not gonna submit you or they're gonna miss a role, they might miss something, but it's also so that you know what kind of roles are there for you. And if you see something that is a good fit for you, the agent might not see that. They might be like, "Oh, that's not a good role for her," but you think it might be great.
I've come across a few actors that's run into
Yeah.
where somehow or another somebody didn't submit something, or somebody did submit, but for some reason they submitted, and I don't know, for some reason they got called in.
Mhm.
I think a lot of it's based on timing too.
Yeah, that's true.
Knowing that side of things, sometimes somebody's working, the submissions come in. I've worked on the casting side a little bit,
Mhm.
so I know when I've looked at some stuff, sometimes I've cleared everybody. Somebody else submits. I come back in the next day. There's somebody new. I'm like, hey, what's going on? Oh, this person's great. And then all of a sudden I have to go back. And if I do have the time to look into one of my films and I'm looking for somebody else, I'm like, oh, how did I miss this person?
Yeah.
And you just don't know. That's a hard thing. As the actor, looking at that side of things, that's a hard thing because people can miss you.
Yeah, it's about luck
It's
too.
it's unintentional.
Yeah.
It's unintentional by somebody can miss you because I have missed some people and I'm like, oh, hey, how did I miss this person? Let's bring them in. Jeez. Um, so what would happen if a penguin with in a sombrero just walked in here? What would he say?
I have no clue. Probably it's too hot.
It's too hot. But he's in a sombrero. He's planning on going to Mexico or Panama or
But
something.
it's a penguin.
He's got a sombrero on. I'm just asking here.
I have no
No
clue.
idea. Okay. We won't worry about that. All right. Well, Lucy, you know what? Thanks for being here. You want to tell people how to find you?
Yeah, that would be great. So you can go ahead and find me on Instagram
Mhm.
at Lucie Campbell Official, and that's spelled LucieCampbell_official. And I'll be looking forward to hearing from you.
Great, great. So, would you be willing to take any questions if somebody was to email you about kind of immigration side of things, or how
Yeah.
you kind of got through it, if it was kind of an easy process for you? Because obviously everyone's situation is a little different, but
Mm-hmm.
if somebody did,
Yeah, absolutely. If you have any questions, just shoot me a message or email, and I'll be happy to help you with it, or at least give my advice.
yeah, advice is always good. It
Yeah.
always helps to get that. So great. Everybody, this has been Lucie Campbell, and this is Ryan McVeigh, and thanks for listening.
Thank you for having me.